I'm here with Phil Campbell from the Temperance Movement. Very happy to be here. Welcome to myRockworld.
Well, this is amazing. It's great to see you again. This is brilliant. Here we are in Munich, ready for a show.
Okay, let's start with the first question. Please tell us something about the new album, the second album, and called White Beer, and what is different to the last album?
It's not white beer. That would be a beverage. A German sort of blonde beer. It's a white beer, like like a big sort of beer that's white in colour. It is the band, the Temperance Movement, that toured and grew into a slightly bigger version of themselves, touring over and over again, playing and playing, getting to know each other, getting to develop in the way that we play and in the way that we communicate. That's what white beer is. White beer is the result of 2-3 years of playing shows and kind of getting a little bit better and just becoming a little bit more, I don't know, like getting set into our characters.
There was extensive touring with the band. So how did you find time to write new songs?
No. We just do because we come from a place where songwriting is the key feature of what we do. So in the middle of 2014, when we did our first sort of major European tour, we started to write in the sound checks. We started to jam different things because we were quite tired of the music that we were playing. It was, so we started to just try and get our kicks by playing other. So we came up with 3 Bullets, and we came up with Get Yourself Free and some other tunes like that. And then we also decided to start writing together as a 5-piece band and as a collective unit. And that helped everybody to become more creative. And then when we went back home, there's like another style of writing is when the band jam without me. I don't live in London. I live in Glasgow. So they would jam out there and send me up the music, and then I would send down the vocals and the lyrics and stuff like that back at them. That's another form of writing. And then we would get together and we would write around the table. So there was a lot of songwriting, and we found the time. We made the time.
So, have you got an own individual favorite song on the album? And why? What's your favorite?
My favorite song is Get Yourself Free because it is. There's a direct link between that song and Ain't No Tellin' from the first album. It feels the same to me. It feels like that song, and it has something. It has a sort of slightly southern rock chorus, but it has a very, very quirky kind of throwaway lyric in the verses, and it has a melody that was inspired by the guitar part that was something I didn't really sort of come up with, but it was the guitar part, and so that's where the melody came from. And I just love it because it made me feel, oh God, it's going to be okay.
Is it also your favorite song playing live?
Yeah, that or Magnify or Take It Back, or I kind of don't really have a favourite to play live. I think Get Yourself Free is my current favourite, but if truth be told.
Phil, there's currently a revival of young bands playing and sounding vintage, like the Rival Sons, the Brew, Vintage Trouble. Where do you see the Temperance Movement alongside such bands, and what do you think is the reason that this genre does have such a strong and huge comeback?
I don't know. I think that Vintage Trouble and Rival Sons and the Temperance Movement are not exactly young bands.
Yeah, not young, but
but I think it's just a case of it. I think it's live. It's music, live rock and roll music, sort of played in real time, and with a sort of rock and roll attitude is something that people in the world still enjoy, and musicians still enjoy that. They still enjoy musicians still enjoy playing music loudly and with the sort of expression of rock and roll, playing it live. It's still a very cool thing to do. It's still a very enjoyable thing to do. It's a very enjoyable thing to watch. I think amongst the musicians we feel that celebrity culture has denied people the real sort of guts of musicality. You see, because I'm never actually, when I look at Taylor Swift, I'm not being asked anything about music. I'm being asked to appreciate who she is and how good she looks. Right, and that's kind of a bit boring to me because I can't really get beyond. I want to hear. I'll be interested in her if she starts writing something decent or whatever. But even all this sort of packaging and all the sort of way that it's sold to me is, I feel a little bit empty. But that's because I'm an older person. Maybe I'm not 14 or 15 years old. Maybe it's different when you're younger. The problem is that the people who buy music or the people that are mostly interested in music are young kids. Right, too young to get into our gigs, so we kind of not involved in that. We're the rock bands, and the rock bands they're no longer cool, and they're no longer the thing that changes the world, and they're no longer the people that are in vogue. We're a type of music that was created in the 20th century, and we're just kind of keeping it going. But what it really meant and what it was about is dead. It's gone.
Okay. Phil, what can we expect from the show tonight?
Well, you're going to get a great show. This is the last gig of our tour, and we've had a great tour in Europe. We've enjoyed every single gig of it, right? And particularly Germany, I have to say, I love Germany. We love Germany. We have a very sort of we have a passion for Germany and a love for it.
And it's sold out tonight again?
Yes. I can't believe Munich, man. It's going to be great. It's the best place to sort of end a tour. It would be Germany. We had a great gig in Berlin. We had a great gig in Hamburg. We've had a lovely time. This band here are they're from Sweden, and they've been out on tour with us, and they're absolutely amazing as well. And we've had a great bond between us. We've I don't if you're not like, if you've not got the whatever the success or the hits or whatever, what you got to do is enjoy the lifestyle of it, and this is a great sort of tour, an example of a good tour where everybody's really enjoyed.
That's great.
Yeah.
Awesome. Phil, what are your heroes starting out playing music?
My heroes were I think Elton John at first, because he played the piano. I used to play the piano. I used to like I liked Queen. I liked Freddie Mercury, and I liked Pearl Jam and Nirvana. I liked Tom Waits when I got a little bit older. I liked Kate Bush. I liked Tina Turner, and I liked Rod Stewart, and I liked Paul McCartney and Lennon and the Beatles, and
so everything, the classic.
Yeah, the classic music from before my time. I was born in 1975. I missed. That was when Born to Run came out. I missed rock and roll, but I grew up in the wake of it, and I grew up through the sort of the tail end of the punk era, and then into the sort of 80s pop era, and then the grunge era in the 90s, where it was really when I was a teenager, when I was a kid, and so I saw this rebirth of a sort of a retelling of 70s rock and roll music in the 90s, both in the UK and in America. People like Lemonheads and Nirvana and Soundgarden and heavy sort of bands, but also R.E.M. The heart and soul, the songwriting heart and soul of America, the indie kids. America I love for their music. It's interesting how you go there to the country, and I come away thinking that the music is indeed the best thing about the place. The place lacks a lot, but it's because we're from Europe and we have such history, and we're so set in our ways for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years, and we sort of go over there and feel a little bit lost. But you kind of judge America before you even go there by the music, but it's the best thing about the place.
Do you still have time to listen to new music also?
Oh, yeah. I mean, whenever something sort of grabs me, I listen to it, over and over.
Okay.
Whatever. I like listening to things that aren't possibly like the Temperance Movement. I like Kurt Weill and his band Violators, and I like the music he makes, and that's one of the main things I've listened to on this tour. Plus, I like sort of mixtapes. I like Primal Scream, and I like the Oasis, and I also sort of I like the La's, and I like sort of. Anything like this.
So, what's next for the Temperance Movement? Are there any plans to record some shows or maybe a live DVD?
Well, I would actually. I'm less into recording live than recording music, because we did it for a tour. We recorded every show because we were going to make this live album. Mm-hmm. At the end up, it was a live EP of 5 songs from one bloody show, right? Mm-hmm. Basically, one show the songs were chosen from, and we had all this sort of stress of setting up and everything to record everything. And then when you're playing, you're always thinking this is recording, so you kind of invariably make a mistake. Okay. So, record it, but don't tell me you're recording it.
Okay.
So don't tell me you're recording it. No. They tell me afterwards, we got that, and I'll still think, fuck,
Okay, so no live recording with any knowledge. Okay.
It's a shame, because so many people, because on YouTube, right, there's a lot of really, really great. You could actually make your videos up out of YouTube videos from the same show, right? And if you could just get the sound better.
Okay.
Awesome.
Okay, some words to the fans, please.
To the fans? Well, I would say that the fans of the Temperance Movement are our lifeblood, and we've just met a huge amount of them in this tour, and the tour that we just did in the UK. So there's a great feeling just now of being very much in touch with them, and sort of being carried by them and supported by them, and we just want to say thank you for every time there's a full room to play to. I hope that is known, and I hope that that's taken with sincerity, because we try to thank everybody on the night, but that would be the thing to say to fans. Would just be to thank you for the support.
Okay. Thank you, Phil, for this interview.
Hey, no bother.
Okay.